On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
You know it's Monday, time to get right. And it is an honor to have an astrologer, numerologist. She's also a yoga teacher, a meditation instructor, a sound healer, and sound bath expert, Saharah Ali with Mindful Mondays. Welcome, Saharah.
Good morning, Dominique and KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Mondays, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our wisdom, truth, power, and faith. Today, I'd like to unpack the sun entering Pisces on Tuesday at 2 a.m. until March 20th. The sun in Pisces activates our creative spiritual energy, opening connection to our dreams and subconscious mind. The Pisces season brings with it a conjunction, or what we call a stellium, which is 4 or more major planets together in one sign, affecting all of us until May. Mercury, communicator of truth versus lies. Saturn, leader versus follower. Neptune, illusion versus reality. And the North Node, confusion versus discernment. These planets are calling us to reinvent the narrative we hold for ourselves. These Pisces transits brings forth clarity, awakening diversity, enhancing tools for growth, inspiring wholeness of our human existence as spiritual beings, aiding the celebration of wisdom, building a collective, transforming the illusions we're living in right now. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "The great problem of facing modern man is that the means by which we live have outdistanced the spiritual ends for which we live." Note, all spiritual influences of 2025 is inviting our souls to immerse ourselves in spirituality, trusting our innate wisdom, unfolding the sacred power of truth, aligning with the universe to make some good trouble. It's imperative we pick up our power to be on purpose, living our unapologetically best life despite the illusions. Compassion is the forefront, love is the healer, and forgiveness is the medicine. We must lean into keeping the power of hope alive, trusting our desires accompanied by expectations which will manifest fulfillment. The sun represents our ego and the vehicle of our personality, the source of our conscious awareness. The sun in Pisces supports activation of our creative spiritual energy, opening the connection to our dreams and subconscious mind. So going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, let's willingly open ourselves to the power of divine intelligence, digging deep into our spiritual ego of truth, turning hope into fulfillment, picking up our power, and being on purpose, living our unapologetically best life, despite the chaos, the illusion, the ignorance, and all these things that represent who we are not. So stop and take a breath. Take a breath and get comfortable. Relax your whole body. Be mindful of any tension or tightness from your head to your toes. Slowly breathe through your nose at a natural pace and relax. Relax, ready and open to our Mindful Monday meditation. So inhale, centering yourself and grounding yourself. Be in this moment, connecting to your breath, your innate wisdom, and your truth. Exhale, allowing yourself to feel anchored, open, and ready to embrace your divine power, activating your innate wisdom. So take a breath, inhale, connecting to hope and fulfillment. Exhale, releasing fear and judgment. Just relax and breathe and open yourself to the truth. Relax and breathe. Now inhale, breathing in faith with purpose. Breathe in your faith, breathe in your power. Let go of the illusions. Exhale, open your mind and heart to receive your divine birthright, the wisdom of your ancestors. Exhale, embrace the power of self-love, activating creative spiritual energy, connecting to your dreams. Relax. Now inhale, embrace self-love, calling on your angels and ancestors to elevate the spirit of truth within you. Breathe that in. The elevation of truth within you, aligning with your ancestors. Exhale, allowing yourself to trust the manifestation of fulfillment here and now. And just breathe, grounding yourself, centering yourself, taking in all this information. Now inhale, quiet yourself. Exhale, make a promise to be unapologetically progressive, expressing spiritual truth, expressing your wisdom. And now inhale, taking the biggest breath you've had all morning. Hold in that breath. And in that breath is your power, is your truth, and your light. And as you exhale what's no longer serving you. You exhale the fear, the shame, the frustration, the helplessness, the anger. Exhale and release all of that. And now breathe in. Breathe in self-love. Breathe in your wholeness. Breathe in, open your mind and heart to our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Just exhale and relax and listen with all parts of your spiritual being. Our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Today I choose innate wisdom as my foundation, embracing truth, honoring God as the giver and the gift of my fulfillment. Today I choose innate wisdom as my foundation, embracing truth, honoring God as the giver and the gift of my fulfillment. Honoring God as the giver and the gift of our fulfillment. Breathe, relax, bringing your awareness back. Feel your feet on the floor, opening yourself to being in present time. and allowing your heart to be centered and nurturing yourself and finding the love and fulfillment despite the illusions that are in front of us right now. Take a big breath and exhale. Thank you, Dominique, Miles, Tavis Smiley, and the 1580 KBLA family.
Thank you, Saharah. It's
I don't get tongue-tied.
Yeah. Okay. So two things. One, I love that embracing, honoring God as the giver and the gift. It seems like only God could probably be the giver and the gift. And then I wanted to ask on behalf of Carl, whose birthday is today. He wanted you to say a little something about Aquarius. A lot of them are having their birthdays right before we flip over to Pisces season, and it's actually Huey P. Newton's birthday today.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Love it. And so appropriate for being an Aquarius. You know, we have Pluto in Aquarius. We had Saturn in Aquarius, but Pluto in Aquarius is going to be there for 20 years.
Wow.
And so this is the time to make good trouble. This is the time because Pluto rules Saturn and Uranus. Uranus is sudden and unexpected changes. Uranus is in Taurus square all of this. So what it looks like now is that we're pushing a ball up the hill. But when Uranus moves over into Aries, it's going to be a time when Huey and all of our Black brothers and sisters were empowered enough to say no, to say yes to us.
Yeah.
So part of what's going on is for us to remember to say yes to us despite the illusion that is trying to say no to us. And so all Aquarians, put on your rebel hat. Celebrate the diversity of who you are and the rebel of who you are, and support in consciousness the wisdom that your soul has chosen as an Aquarius to be a good troublemaker.
It's also the birthday. It's also the birthday of Jim Brown. Speaking of good troublemakers. And
that's what I'm talking about.
Someone asked last week, I think it was Molly Bell, who asked, are we in the age of Aquarius? And I started Googling it, and I guess it's controversial. It depends which astrologer you ask, whether or not we're actually in the age of Aquarius and how long it lasts and when does it start. But what do you say about that, Saharah?
Well, what I like to say that we're in the age of empowerment. We are in the age where it is important for us to know our power and use our power. You know, we were in the age of intuition, we were in the age of enlightenment, and in the age of Aquarius, which is a collective dynamic, is about the collective. So the overall, let's say we say the master is age of Aquarius, but underneath that is the age of empowerment. And that's what the age of Aquarius brings us. It brings us an opportunity to shift the paradigm of where we live and to use that celestial energy to be good rebels, to make some good trouble, to make change. Aquarius is the ruler of sudden and unexpected things happening. And so if we are prayed up, focused, and in our power, we can make a sudden and unexpected change. It's like a Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope punch that comes out of nowhere. You know, so a lot of things are going to come out of nowhere, but you have to stay focused with that Saturn energy underneath that Aquarian Uranus dynamic to be stable, to be focused, to be anchored, to know what you want, and to use the spiritual power you have to create transformation in your own life, because it starts with you. Everything is energy. Everything is a vibration. Think about what you want, not what you don't want. And it is so important to trust your intuition, trust the innate truth that you were born with. You know, our inner wisdom knows truth and reality, despite the illusions that are in front of us. It's that part of us that says, something's wrong over here, something's not right.
Yeah.
And that truth will always uncover the lies and illusion or falsehood that is being presented. And so we have to stay focused, stay in our lane, get together, and be like our brothers and sisters, you know, the Panthers and everybody else who decided that we matter. That's
Yep.
all this is about.
Molly
Can
Bell
you
said
remember you
Pluto and
matter?
Aquarius for how long? Saharah Ali said 20 years.
years.
Molly Bell, she said 20 years. Yep. Well,
But
that's
it's good because it's going to bust everything up. It's like come and bust some stuff up every time. When it was in Saturn, it bust stuff up. When it was in Saturn, all the times when it was in Saturn, we had Rodney King. In this Saturn aspect, we had George Floyd. And what did we get? We got Black Lives Matter. That's not going anywhere.
yeah.
And in the 60s, when we had it, we had the Black Panther, Black Power.
Right. So, just as a reminder to all of us, the tech broligarchs are not the only ones who can move fast and break stuff. Just for the record, Saharah Ali, thank you so much for a great start to our week.
Thank you. And all my KBLA family, I appreciate you. And remember to choose your innate wisdom as the foundation for embracing and honoring God as the giver and the gift of your life, of your fulfillment, of your wholeness, and all things that you need to sustain yourself through this chaotic time.
Absolutely. If you want to find out where there's a sound bath led by Saharah or yoga class or the like, you can go to saharahali.com, saharahali.com if you'd like to make an appointment for a reading, some life coaching, or even some personalized stretching and yogaing. You can call Elise at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. Right now, though, it's the perfect time to call me. Let's bust some stuff up on the radio. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful.
Hi, this is Matayo.
And this is Elsa.
And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. Because the spice comes in at just the right moment.
Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
I have a dream today.
From slavery and segregation to the Great Migration to our present day rising, the Black experience in America is a story of resilience, achievement, and unstoppable spirit. This February, we're curating amazing conversations celebrating the heroes, the pioneers, and the everyday people who made history. Black History Month on KBLA Talk 1580. Together, we carry the torch forward.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Charmin Ultra Strong. You can use less, better than the rest. Charmin Ultra Strong. Your booty past the clean test. Salmon weave texture, it's the best. Study up, teach a lesson on fresh. Your booty past the clean test. Yes, sir. Charmin Ultra Strong.
Charmin Ultra Strong with diamond weave texture cleans better than the leading one-ply brand, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Right now. What the heck is going on? 800-920-1580. Call me. Let's talk about it. What? The Queen is on the phone? Oh, it's a Molly Bell Monday around here. Straight out of Compton. Good morning.
God bless morning, reparations in memory of our ancestors. And God bless morning to you, Dominique, Sister Saharah Ali. You look simply gorgeous.
Thank you.
I guess, and we only let you rest, what, a few hours? we don't give up rest that easy. You have to, and you've earned it. But you look great, and welcome home. We're better when you're there. I was concerned about a couple of things. I remember that the Indians back in the day, they had a language. I remember it from history, kind of. And I said, maybe we're going to learn to, you think we might go back to talking Gullah Geechee so that, no, well,
I love that idea. I mean, I'd have to learn it. I've been trying to learn Swahili. I think both of those are good options.
Well, we need to try it. But what my main concern today is that I've been watching them as they clear away Pasadena, Altadena, all the bad stuff. I'm concerned that if somebody, and I'm hoping that James Farr may have to head this up, we need to listen and see where are they putting all of that contaminated stuff, all that everything, because in 25 years, they'll build black homes right on top of it. They have done that so much. And I'm saying that maybe the dawning of the age of Aquarius, Dominique, we've got to get ahead of them. And since they don't want us to talk, we can talk any way we want to. We can use any words we want. DEI, some people didn't even know about DEI until about the term, until about you brought it up on the radio. That was late last year? And they hadn't even heard what the letter stood for. So we can do what we can do. But if you talk to James Farr and others, what do you think that they're going to do with the land where they're putting all of this? And not only this, in the various states where they've had plane crashes, where they've had so much, we've got to be on the lookout. Anyway, great. I love me some Saharah Ali. And she says, today I choose God and the gift and giver of our foundation. And she put on her, you said, put on your Aquarius rebel hat. Well, no offense, Dominique, you wear that hat all the time. You are a rebel.
I'll be an honorary Aquarian. I'll take it.
You are. Because they said, they didn't say Aquarius was just a month. They said this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius when I was a young girl. Listen, all you prayer warriors out there, you know what you've got to do. You've got to keep fasting. You've got to keep praying because the struggle continues. And always, to God be the glory. Thank you, Dominique.
From the original rebel hat wearer, that would be Molly Bell, straight out of Compton. Thank you, Queen. So many good things she said there. But as far as, first, before I forget, Relax, Retune, Restore, a healing sound bath with Saharah Ali and Rashid Jibri, who happens to be her husband, is going to be a special evening of sound led by both of them. They're sound healers. And you're going to have healing tones, planetary gongs, crystal singing bowls, and help you reach deep states of relaxation and meditation. This is going to be at the Yoga House in Pasadena, Altadena area. And you have to be on time. I know that for sure. But you can sign up at yogahouse.com, and that's going to be this coming Saturday. So a great opportunity. To your question about, or your point about this waste, it's become a battle. Community groups, neighborhood organizations are saying we don't want that waste here. Governor Gavin Newsom has even weighed in because communities are worried that storing that waste, if the federal task force puts the garbage, the toxic waste from these fire sites in any area that it could contaminate the groundwater or the air or create other problems. So everyone is trying to avoid having the toxic waste in their neighborhood, even though it has to go somewhere. They have 4 temporary processing sites. The feds say that this will not pose any kind of threat to neighborhoods, and that they won't have any long-term impact. But communities are not buying that. There was a town hall meeting in Duarte where the community was very upset because there's supposed to be some hazardous waste storage there. They had a town hall meeting with Environmental Protection Agency officials. They were trying to reassure the crowd, but the crowd starts chanting, "Find another place." The one man who said, the mayor actually of Azusa said, "Look, we're a low-income Latino community. That doesn't mean you get to dump that stuff here." And so this is going to be an ongoing conversation, an ongoing struggle. I understand that the golf course in Pasadena, Altadena area is one of the sites that they're now talking about using. It's the Altadena golf course. It's in Altadena. It's actually the third staging area they're saying they're going to use for temporary storage of this stuff from the Eaton fire. But if they don't have somewhere to put it, then they can't keep cleaning up, because that's, you can't clean up and leave the stuff where it is. But this is a fight, and I don't see it going anywhere. They're going to say they say their first phase is they test the site to make sure to double check that there won't be a negative impact from putting this environmental waste there. They say that they build these pads. They're staging area pads. They don't just dump it on the ground. And so that they're taking protective measures to make sure that they won't contaminate that earth. But based on what Molly Bell's saying and my own reading of news stories over the years and decades, is that many times these sites, former sites where hazardous materials were, they do build low-income housing. And then you come up with these cancer outcomes and such years and decades later. And this is the same thing apparently that happened with the campfire. People were so upset about not wanting this hazardous junk in their neighborhoods that it slowed down the recovery. They were worried that it would be permanent or that it would create hazards in their own neighborhoods. So we will definitely track this. The Environmental Protection Agency says, look, we've been doing this for 15 years in California, Hawaii, and other places that they've never had a problem, but communities are simply not buying it. And it's at odds with the president saying this stuff needs to be cleaned up in 2 weeks. They are moving forward with these cleanups, but the communities are pushing back. We'll keep you posted on all things Pasadena, Altadena, and Palisades. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass admitted her Ghana trip during the January wildfires was a mistake. She returned the next day but faced criticism for her absence and fire department budget cuts. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker faces new allegations of sexual misconduct. According to the Baltimore Banner, 7 more massage therapists have accused the 35-year-old of sexually inappropriate behavior, bringing the total to 16. Kentucky is the worst state to retire, followed by Louisiana, Mississippi, Washington, New Mexico, and New Jersey. Wallet Hub looked at 46 key indicators of retirement friendliness, everything from tax rates, cost of living, and access to quality medical care, and fun things to do. And today is President's Day, and most government offices will be closed for the federal holiday. Major banks and post offices will also be closed. UPS and FedEx locations will be open. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
If you or someone you know is affected by the Los Angeles wildfires, you are not alone. No matter how sad, scared, or heartbroken you feel, Cal Hope is here for you and all those affected by the devastating wildfires. Find free, safe, and confidential mental health support at calhope.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron's streak of playing in 20 consecutive NBA All-Star games ended Sunday in San Francisco. LeBron was scheduled to start his 21st straight All-Star game, but he decided to sit this one out because of soreness in his left foot and ankle. LeBron was not sure he would be ready for the Lakers' first game after the All-Star break on Wednesday against Charlotte. The Clippers are back in action Thursday at Milwaukee. There was no letdown Sunday for the USC and UCLA women's basketball teams after their epic battle Thursday night. USC, ranked 6th in the nation, held on for a 69-64 win at Washington. Kiki Iverson led USC with 19 points. Juju Watkins had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Number 1 UCLA got by Michigan State 75-69 without star center Lauren Betts. Betts missed the game with a foot injury. Janiyah Barkin and Tamia Gardner each had 18 points to lead the Bruins. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. It's KBLA Talk 1580's third annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on Black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring Black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text BEST to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text BEST to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text BEST to 200-300. That's BEST to 200-300. BEST to 200-300.
What you want to do, huh?
KBLA Talk 1580 is thrilled to share that we have been named as a semi-finalist for the coveted American Climate Leadership Awards, honoring our climate work last year. We're also delighted to announce year 2 of our Climate Justice Crusade. This year's $2 million 12-month campaign will link and combat the relationship between climate change and poor health outcomes for African Americans and the poor. Climate inequities have taken a toll with multiple health triggers in the Black community, such as extreme heat and poor air quality, made worse by the recent wildfires. Our work to ensure climate justice and climate equity continues. In the coming weeks and months, you'll be hearing a lot more about our 2025 climate campaign. To learn more about our plans for this year and the companies and organizations supporting us, log on to our website at kbla1580.com. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
So the dump sites are as follows. I was able to research and find out dump sites for the toxic debris left from the Eaton Canyon Fire in Altadena include Lario Park in Duarte, the Calabasas landfill in the city of Calabasas, and the Altadena golf course. Residents of these areas, even the landfill, believe it or not, are protesting this, worried that there could be hazardous debris or residual chemicals or that kind of thing left over. There's also hauling that has to go. This is a huge project. It's the city of Pasadena working with the county of Los Angeles, working with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the California Department of Transportation, plus all of the neighboring cities. It's a huge operation. It is going to be disrupting neighborhoods. So I would, plan for that. There's a protest this morning, planned for this morning at the Altadena golf course and also at the Lario Park in Duarte this morning. And there were protests last weekend as well. They're saying that there are specific hauling routes that you might want to avoid. 210 freeway access points, west of Lake Avenue, Woodbury Road to Arroyo Boulevard, east of Lake Avenue and west of Eaton Canyon Golf Course, and east of Eaton Canyon Golf Course, Milchilinda Avenue to the 210 on and off ramps. This is available at PasadenaNow.com or on the EPA website. Areas you're going to want to avoid, and you're going to want to give yourself grace in terms of your travel time, because there's going to be a lot of trucks on the road. They're hauling this stuff around. It's not going to move itself, as they say. And we're talking about stuff like lithium batteries, asbestos, contaminated soil. And these operations are moving quickly. They say, the governor said this is going twice as fast as prior fire recoveries. So it's going to be crowded. It's going to be a disruption. I mean, there's just no way around it. And the major hauling, 1,500 daily truck loads expected to start today. So I know it's a lot, but what's the alternative? The alternative is leave the stuff there? I don't know. I'm not an expert, but understand that phase, it's good news and bad news. It's bad news because it's going to disrupt the roads and communities, and people are concerned about the stuff being dumped in areas near where they live. It's good news because it means we're moving forward with the recovery process, and that is the only way that we can rebuild. Let's go to Jeanette, calling us from Inglewood. Good morning, Jeanette.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you so much for taking my call. Two things. First, with what you were talking about in the last hour, I wonder where the children who have a white mom and a black dad, or a white dad and an Indian mom, fall into all of this that they're doing right now.
Well, okay, before you go on, because I know you have more, I'm one of those children. I'm grown now. Mm-hmm. White mama, black daddy. We black all day unless we're in denial. I mean, even if you're in denial and you think you're Caucasian or, Irish or whatever you think you are, America's going to treat you like a black person unless you're passing. Yeah. And, somebody needs to ask J.D. Vance's kids, because they got an Indian mama and a white daddy, and they're going to be brainwashed to think that race isn't a thing, but America will slap them upside the head if they walk around with that delusion. I mean, like I used to say when I was trying to figure this out for myself as a kid, when the KKK comes to lynch people from trees, they're not going to lynch half of you. They're going to take your entire black behind and hang it from that tree.
Now, see, you just said what was my point, but also part of that point is, as the person that has the white mom, I'm sure that she will be out there fighting, for her child. Because as you say, they don't, unless you look like you're white, they see you as black. So,
I mean, we're not the ones that came up. We're not the ones who came up with the one-drop rule, Jeanette. That was the people promoting the lie of white supremacy.
Mm-hmm. But my point is that when they see a person, that's what they name them to be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's even, all race is how you look. It's a phenotype. There's no scientific basis for it. So, yeah.
Exactly. Same when they see who they think is a gay person, trans. Now they're just trying to. I think Trump even said you can see a person and tell what they are. If that's not a true statement, forgive me.
No, it is a true statement. He was talking about immigrants. He said you can tell which ones are bad. And I'm pretty sure if you put this to some kind of scientific test, I'm sure it would be similar to a brown bag test. The lighter they are, the easier you can tell that they'll be fine in America if you're him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And also, I wanted to say, I do like your idea of the community wellness center. Let's see how they would try to, destroy that as well, because they're doing a whole lot. And as Paul said, they wrote it down. We could have read it.
Yeah, well, many of us, I mean, I didn't read all 900 pages, but I read enough excerpts from it to know this is not, this is clearly a blueprint for authoritarianism. Yeah. And so I don't understand the people that want to sit around right now and point fingers at Kamala Harris, at each other, at the Democratic Party. We know the Democratic Party has never embraced its progressive core. But what we need to be, to me, what we need to be focused on right now is solutions for this moment in time, for this place in history. And I'm not sure what all of them are, but I know talking about it, I know understanding what's going on, I know that coming up with workarounds and alternatives, and I know that fighting, protesting, and resisting, those are all things that work, and people are doing it. Despite the fact that mainstream media is not reporting on it, there are protests happening all over the country, spontaneous protests breaking out at Tesla dealerships and Tesla charging stations, and then organized protests in Washington, D.C. and other state capitals happening, large numbers of people turning out in the winter cold, not to mention global demonstrations. Just because it's not on the news right now, because the news learned their lesson from 2020, they're not going to help Black Lives Matter have bigger protests. They're not going to help the people that are pushing back on what is basically a coup. It's a slow-moving coup in our country. Yes, even if you believe that Donald Trump was duly elected, even if you concede that, allowing an unelected oligarch to get into the Treasury, soon the IRS, to fire people, to make unilateral government decisions, that is in fact a coup. To usurp the power of the purse, taking the separation of powers away by saying we are not beholden to the judges, we don't have to listen to the courts, and we will slash monies that have already been designated by the Congress. That's taking away the power of the legislative branch and the judicial branch and giving it all to the executive. That is a coup. That is the consolidation of power under the executive branch in service of authoritarian dictatorship, which is a usurping, a hostile takeover, as that one singer on Instagram says, a hostile government takeover, which will abolish the system of government that we currently have. The republic, the democratic republic that we are, is going bye-bye right now. That's a coup. Even if you concede that Trump was duly elected, the move that he's making to take over the powers of Congress, the judicial branch, and to have an unelected surrogate puppet master doing all of this wrecking ball activity to our structures and infrastructures, that is a coup. And that's where we are right now in America. So what do we do about it? I don't know the answer either, Jeanette, but we're going to keep talking about it until we get some.
Do I have time to do the second thing real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Again, in the spirit of being blackly black, today all I want to do is name some black billionaires, because I always say we do thrive through everything. Every century we have thrived. David Stewart, Robert Smith, Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, and Tiger Woods.
Don't forget Rihanna.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and Rihanna.
And you know what?
Her.
It sounds crazy, but I'm really praying that ASAP doesn't go to jail for a long, long time. The jury's deliberating right now, I believe. And, yeah. Now, then the prosecution tried to say it wasn't fair to have Rihanna and the kids in court, which is ridiculous because people's families always go to court to support them. That is not unusual. Just because she happens to be a billionaire and they happen to be popular celebrities doesn't mean they can't show up as a black family to support the father in the family. Oh, I hope that goes their way. I really, really pray that it does, but we will soon see. Jeanette, thank you. Appreciate you. Always bringing information. I said she's our unofficial, official Black History bearer of historical facts for this Black History Month. It's a great time to call me, 800-920-1580. They're talking about Karen Bass in the chat because the Black Information Network and other mainstream news sources are talking about her saying it was an error for her to go to Ghana. I got thoughts on that. I'll share when we continue on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it.
Inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
February is African American and Black History Month, and LA County Library is celebrating the voices and achievements of African Americans throughout the month. Join us for art workshops, family story times, and more. Revisit classic literature from African American authors and discover new favorites. It's a month of learning and fun for library lovers of all ages. Find out more at www.lacountylibrary.org and celebrate Black History Month at LA County Library.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Happy President's Day. I don't know. What do we do to celebrate President's Day? Have a Diet Coke and a fast food burger and then just feel sick? Oh, I know. If you're in LA, you go to the Kingdom Day Parade going down King Boulevard. If you're elsewhere in the nation, I suggest reading some Black history. I don't know, maybe some W.E.B. Du Bois or little Ibram X. Kendi or whatever you desire. Just as blackety black as possible, if possible. And that's what I would do to celebrate President's Day. If you want to be, originalist about it, read about Obama, but I would like to read about, it's Huey P. Newton's birthday. Read about him. Read about Jim Brown. It's his birthday too. I read about famous Aquarians of Black history. Frederick Douglass, for example, who coulda, shoulda, woulda been president. Let's go to Dee calling us from Long Beach. Good morning, Dee.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you. I was going to call on Talking Point Tuesdays, but I decided just to call now. I think we need a plan B, an industrial policy. Those speeches about when the stock market crashes and when this happens and that happens, those are already in the can. But we need to understand what we're going to do if certain things occur, such as the elimination of the Department of Education, such as the privatization of the Postal Service. We need a plan B.
What does that look like? I think that's a very excellent point, Dee, because they are moving forward. Now, the courts are trying to stop it, but the president and the dictator, sidekick, Musk, have said that the courts don't have any say-so over them. So has J.D. Vance. So they may just decide to ignore the courts or defy them until further notice. So what does a plan B look like when they get rid of the Department of Education? And it's interesting you say the privatization of the post office, because I think it's not just the post office, but also education itself. That's pretty much what that, voucher plan and the elimination of the department means. We don't have... well, go ahead. What do you see as solutions here?
I'm not a vouchers person per se, but I think it does open the possibility, the opportunity that people can homeschool. Now, there are those whose jobs won't allow them to homeschool their children. So I think... jobs,
education levels, mental health levels, their living quarters or lack of living quarters. How do you homeschool an unhoused person?
You take them into your home and you educate them as if they were your own children. That's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, take those whatever you call it, those vouchers or whatever, and homeschool your child.
So what does a plan B look like? Does a plan B look like individual action like that? I mean, surely we don't have the resources or the woman power to stand up our own Department of Education.
Individual and collective.
Yeah.
That's how you get to bless the community. You have people in your home. They're your neighbors. They're your comrades. They're your coworkers. We need to work this out. Now, I think when owners of a team or a business keep people from coming into work, that's called a lockout. We need to do like a reverse lockout. I'm not sure if that would speed the demise of public education. Yeah. That's not my point at all. My point is these kids can't read and they can't compute.
Well, I think just the questions you've posed are really important. What is our plan B? What do we do when these things happen? And it may not be personal, but it may not be personal. It could be individual. It could be collective. But whatever it is, it's happening. Now, the courts may find a way to restore the Department of Education, or they may eventually stop some of these moves, reverse some of these moves. I don't know how you let Elon Musk unsee what he's seen as far as the people's data. But those are great questions to ask. I also know that voucher systems have bankrupted at least one state budget. Okay, but I want to talk quickly about Karen Bass before we get to Craig Smith, who is in the building. I'm excited for our Messy Monday. And we'll talk more about this. I don't agree with the mayor saying that it was a mistake for her to go to Ghana. I understand why she did it. I think we're in the Roy Cohn period where you can never concede anything. They don't. She's not psychic. True, there were wind warnings before she left, but when she left, there were no fires. It's not like she left in the middle of the fires, and it's not like she was ever incommunicado. She was always in communication with city staff, deputy mayors, the public safety apparatus. The sheriff has said she never lost contact with him. The mayor, when she was in Congress, was over the Committee on Africa. She's been there many times. It's not like she was a lost tourist. She knows how to communicate, as do I. When you're there, you can communicate via phone. If for some reason you don't have bars, you've got WhatsApp. She's the mayor of a major city. They have satellite. They have FaceTime. She was not out of touch. She was not way out in the bush swimming with the dolphins or running with the elephants. She was at an inauguration for the Ghanaian president. I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was what mayors and leaders of cities and countries and states do all the time. They represent their cities, especially a global one like LA, on the world stage. Was it unfortunate? Yes. Was it a mistake? No. When she went, there were wind warnings. There was no fire. It's not like she was Cancun Ted Cruz, who leaves his state to freeze their butts off while he goes off to chill in Cancun while the crisis is in motion. They were predicting strong winds and possibly catastrophic outcomes. So maybe she should have stayed. We can second guess it, but she's not psychic. She's not Nostradamus, as someone said in the chat. She doesn't know what's going to happen. And she's still leading her country, her city, from another country. She's still leading her city. That's the key thing. It's not like she went off like that Republican congressman having an affair and just on the Argentinian trails and no one can get a hold of her. She continued to lead her city as she does now. And I think that, I think it's unfortunate that she admitted it. She claimed it was a mistake. Maybe she thinks people will be reasonable and stop badgering her, but they won't, because the people that are attacking her are the Elon Musks, who are happy to lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. That's what they do. And we need to be clear-eyed about the fact that our mayor has never ceded her leadership of this city, has never taken her eye off the ball. She was the first Black woman in the country to lead a state house. She has led at the state level, at the federal level, at the local level. She is a health care provider. She has created one of the most powerful and enduring nonprofits in the history of the city, in the community coalition, saving multiple lives, changing policy. She managed to work across the aisle under the Schwarzenegger administration and get stuff done when nobody else was getting stuff done. There is not a better leader that you could have for a time like this. And I agree, the mistake was admitting it was a mistake, because they will beat you over the head with it, even though it is completely within the realm of acceptable behavior that any leader of a major city would do. All right, we're talking Messy Monday. Can unpack your Valentine's fails here with me and the Craig Smith. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass admitted her Ghana trip during the January wildfires was a mistake. Ghana's federal faces new allegations of sexually inappropriate behavior.